In reality, in our experience of polarity, there is room for everything, right? Room for everything, room for both ends of the spectrum. You're going to feel it all at some point. And the same is true of fear. Just as there is a time to feel fear, there is a time to feel fearlessness. And fearlessness can be understood through loving wisdom. The loving wisdom is that if we truly do understand that in every moment we always have a choice, love, which is based in truth and unity, oneness, and fear, based in separation, lack, fear, and that love is always going to benefit you the most, always, then there is a level of protection and inherent safety within that knowing when you have fully embodied it, which takes time. I don't know if anyone's actually fully embodied it, but it is extremely impressive on a level of self-mastery. Confirmation. When you spend time with yourself and you know of your oneness and your oneness with all that is, there is a very real perceptive feeling of safety that you start to create when it's just you and your source, you and your higher self, you and your guides, you and your star family, you and your ancestors, you and whoever you work with, you and Jesus, whoever you work with, to bring yourself into a sense of safety and comfort in the world is important. But it's not a sense of safety where I feel safe only by myself. It is a sense of safety where I feel safe going out and being myself in the world. Being who I really am. Being kind. Being honest. Or if I'm just feeling down, feeling sad for some reason, then I just feel that. I don't pretend. I don't pretend to be feeling something else. If I'm feeling down and someone asks me how I'm doing, I'll tell them, today's been kind of a rough day, to be honest. Or something like that. Or I'll even just outright say, like, today I've honestly just been pretty sad. And I don't know why, just have been, you know? And people are generally very compassionate with that because I'm not faking it. I'm not pretending. They can feel the sadness, and then they hear that I'm being sad and it doesn't confuse them. And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I'm like, "Thank you." And then they usually say, like, "I hope you feel better," or something like that. You know, whatever. Like, it's just nice. It's pleasant. Because I didn't pretend that I'm not feeling sad. It's okay to feel sad. You know? There's a time for everything. We just don't need to... And I will say this. This is what we'll say instead. As there is a time for fearlessness, there will still be times to feel fear. But understand that fear is not something to be afraid of. The feeling that your body feels, wherever you feel it, whatever it's called, fear is really just expansion. It's activation and expansion. That's all the feeling of fear in the body is. And if you just breathe into it and relax, you can allow it to just do its thing. Just allow it to be felt. It's just expansion. You are an extremely expansive soul. You can expand so much in this lifetime. You can learn so much in this lifetime. You can become so much in this lifetime. You can live the life of your dreams if you allow yourself to, but you have to be willing to expand, right? You have to be willing to feel the feelings that are uncomfortable and release them with love. And understand that every time you're doing that, you're becoming more expansive. You're becoming more loving. You're becoming more like your loving creator because you're allowing yourself to feel what is there without judging it or saying it's bad. It's actually superstition. We create the very negative circumstances in our life because ultimately we feel a lot of discomfort and fear, and we're afraid that it's going to create negative things. And so then what's the energy we bring? Sometimes we're defensive. Sometimes we can't handle being around other people. Sometimes we're really agitated. Sometimes we're afraid. We're nervous to say something. We're nervous to be around people. We're not sure how people are going to respond. Are people going to like me? Are people going to understand? Are people going to be nice? Are people going to be kind? Are they going to treat me well? Or are they going to judge me? Are they going to hurt me in some way? And we have to realize all of that is just expansion. We're all connected. So anytime we connect with a new energy, it takes time for us to sort of get assimilated to their energy. And sometimes the stronger the connection, the more tumultuous and chaotic it can feel because it creates such an expansion within you. So the people you really want to be with, but you're afraid to be with them or afraid to be around people like them or energies like them, you have to take time for it to come together without hurting each other, without taking out the discomfort of the process on them. To not hurt their feelings, to not lash out when you're feeling uncomfortable or scared or they trigger something in you. It's a lot. And it's scary expanding that quickly, that fast, because you're asking to be brought to souls. So many of us are being asked to to be brought to souls who resonate with us, who are very compatible and comforting energies for each other when they're in harmony and in balance. And it takes time. And this is true for counterparts. This is true for, divine unions. It's true for soulmates, and soul tribe, family, soul family. It's true for everyone. And in truth, you know who you love and you know who genuinely loves you. And we just have to accept that everybody sort of has their own process of being able to allow that kind of love into their life and to expand into that. It takes time. It is a massive expansion process, because you literally have to expand your nervous system, and it takes time. Because it's a lot of energy. When you're in a harmonious and genuinely exciting life, it's a lot of energy, and it's scary to the body, right? It's that feeling of fear, which is why fearlessness has to be important. Courage has to be important first. And one day, eventually, you do get to tap into things where you feel fearless, where you feel like you could live the life of your dreams, that is real. Is real. That's funny. Wow. That is really funny. Okay, sorry. We're just waking up to the truth that we are one. We are one with the Creator. It is safe. All of your dreams and desires are real. You're allowed to believe in them. You just need to relax, Like, I know they get you really excited, but you gotta relax. You gotta learn to be peaceful with it, and also feel safe to get excited about it in the divine timing of it. Because as creators, we have made this easier on ourselves. As we remember how loving reality is, as we are remembering unconditional love, which is exactly what we're doing. That is literally exactly what we're doing. Collectively, together, we are being reflections for each other, especially on social media, to share these expansive, loving perspectives so that everyone gets to experience it in the 3D. Yes, they're in a spiritual sense, in a 5D sense, everyone is being lifted up energetically together in waves, in ways that make sense, that are gentle, more gentle than you can imagine. We make it a lot harder on ourselves. As we live, when you get to actually listen to the wisdom, when the channel's actually coming through and you're like, oh, this is good stuff. But it's also triggering to people. But what are triggers? Triggers are activations. It activates a certain energy in you, a certain frequency, and then you get to expand. And if that creates feelings of fear in the body, sensations of fear, we have to realize that that's what the expansion feels like. We don't actually need to create a story about it. There's nothing you actually need to be afraid of. But undoing the programming of fear is going to take time. Because we have to undo the program of illusion that we've taken on during these dark ages for humanity. Thousands of years where humanity has not known who they are at all. All right? This is important to us. This is important. Our evolution is important. It's the main thing that is happening right now, because it is what is going to lead us into a much more peaceful world where people are thriving and not surviving. We don't have to be in survival, but we don't have to be in survival mode anymore. We can feel safe. We can feel safe in the world. We are allowed to. The more you know yourself, the more you know you are one with Source, the more you know you are divinely guided and protected, the more that your body will actually relax and heal. It is a somatic, energetic experience within the body. And yes, it is self-healing. That is the first thing we need to move into a new era, is to realize that the source of our healing does not come from outside of us. The source of our healing comes from within. The source of our healing is the God source that we are. We are one with our source, from which everything comes, out of infinite formlessness into energetic form. Everything is constantly shifting. Everything already exists. Your healing, if you want to have miraculous healing in your life, you must have faith in it first. You must not just choose to believe it for a little bit, and then if it doesn't happen in the timeline that you think it should, give up. Instead, you need to have faith. Faith in it even when you're not feeling good. Because guess what? Healing oftentimes is uncomfortable. All right? It's not just one instantaneous healing and then nothing else, and you're just good forever. Like, no, it's a purification process. And that happens by unlearning fear, unlearning separation, unlearning lack. We are whole, we are healthy, we are strong. Everything we need is within us already. And it doesn't mean don't eat. It doesn't mean don't take prescription drugs. It doesn't mean anything. It just means trust that you're healing. Stop putting, do the things in the physical that make your body feel safer, because that's important, is to feel safe and at peace. And if prescription drugs help you, don't let people who tell you they're horrible and poisonous for you freak you out. All right? Like, I get that ultimately it'd be nice if we just did away with prescription drugs, but seriously, if you feel safe with it, if you feel better with it than without it, do that so that you can get into a better state of mind. All right? You can still heal from everything. Everything that you consume, you can trust is being healed in you every time you consume it. You don't have to think that it's poisoning you. You don't have to think that it's making you sicker. You don't have to think that. Now, if you keep having the same experience with it and it's frustrating you, or you think that it would be better for you to let it go, then let it go. Trust yourself. Stop listening to what everyone else says. All right? Everyone is playing out their own reality. Everyone is playing out their own reality. Everyone is experiencing what they truly believe to be true in some way. All right? And a lot of times they have a lot of contradicting beliefs because they're not really, but I get it. It is a healing process. It takes time for us to unlearn really limiting and fear-based beliefs and take on the truth, to remember the truth, to remember how safe it is, to remember that we are the creators, to remember that the stories we tell ourselves, we need to make sure they're good stories if we're going to tell ourselves any stories at all. If we're going to have a story about who we are, it better be an empowering one. Otherwise, you're only hurting yourself. You're not loving yourself. You've got to trust that when you were unconscious to who you were, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Anytime your wounding shone through and you were learning difficult lessons, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. All of the shame, all of the guilt, all of it can be forgiven. All of it. And we do that by transforming the stories. First, we forgive ourselves. We genuinely sit with ourselves and we forgive ourselves. And then we tell ourselves really loving things. And then we look for what we learned from it and see, why might I have wanted this experience? I know in the moment it hurts, and it does. And we're not trying to eliminate hurt. All right? But feel the hurt and transform it. It doesn't have to stay hurt. No hurt within you has to stay hurt. It's temporary. The hurt is expanding you and helping you learn the loving wisdom you need, that you came here to learn. And this is how we heal our karma. We transform the experiences we've had into wisdom. The things that hurt us the most, whether they're memories or beliefs about ourselves, we have to transform them into loving experiences because there is wisdom for all of it. We cannot stay in victimhood and move into a more purified energy because you continue to create the negative conditions that the victimhood created. And again, it's not your fault to be in victimhood. I was in victimhood my whole fucking life. Because that was just the experience. I was afraid to be myself around people. And I was afraid of being judged, and I didn't know how to look at it any differently. I'm looking at this with compassion, not with judgment. I'm not judging myself for it because that would defeat the purpose. I'm already judging myself for it. Now I need to release the judgment and learn the loving wisdom from what happened. And I cannot just leave it without finding the loving wisdom because it happened for a reason. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't there to teach me something vital to what I need in this lifetime. When you get to this point of understanding where you're at in the journey, you have to know. You have to know. It has to become a knowing that everything that happens to you happens for you, for your highest good. And it is serving you in this lifetime, right now. It is teaching you something. It is reminding you something. The lesson might be you're worthy of forgiveness. The lesson might be you're worthy of great love in your life. The lesson might be that you need certain boundaries. The lesson might be you might need certain moderation to have more balance in your life. The lesson might be you need to listen to your body more and trust your intuition more. We all have powerful intuition. Extremely powerful intuition if we will allow ourselves to trust it, to learn how to trust it. And if we ask to be guided in how to trust it, we will. The guidance is always there. You ask and you shall receive. You just got to ask for things that actually change the way that you experience life. Stop trying to change the external. You have to learn the lesson first. You came here to learn the lesson. Even if you did get what you wanted, you would still not have learned that lesson that you need to learn. And why are we learning the lessons? Because we're trying to remember unconditional love for ourselves, guys. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We have to do that. That's what evolves humanity to the next massive quantum leap in their awareness and way of being. It's by actually listening to the spiritual masters who have been telling us for thousands of years to love each other. But now it's important to understand it's not just about loving each other, it's also about loving ourselves. It has to be both. If we don't love ourselves, we will project that judgment onto others. If we do not love ourselves unconditionally, we will project that onto others. Yep. And we have to heal that. We have to heal that. All right. I love you guys. And I'm really grateful that we're all doing this together because it's exciting. It's exciting to expand together. It is exciting to actually experience the expansion of consciousness that we're going through, the expansion of our energy, the expansion of our awareness, the expansion of a new way of being human in which we get to walk around and choose love without being in fear all the time. And it is a process to actually learn to be yourself, to just be authentic with people, to be excited around people, to say things, just be who you want to be around people. Just be who it feels good to be in that moment, and you get to just choose love. And even if they don't respond well, they're just learning. Everyone's just learning. We're all just learning. But we're going to get good at it. We're going to get really good at it. All right. See you in the next one.